Wow, that's a bit of a delay, huh? Well, well, well. Howdy, folks. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing fine. We're all hanging out here at the Jungceylon Mall slash shopping center in Phuket. I'm so small. We thought we'd just say, hi, how are you? The good news for everybody is gas prices are falling fast. Ticket prices for airplanes also falling fast, plummeting in some cases. The economy is running at 4%. The stocks are booming like there's no tomorrow. Honeyco, how are you? And we are in Phuket. How can you complain when all those are happening at the same time? Yeah. Hey, I'd love to have that girl's hat, wouldn't you? We have our silliest corner. We have, what do we have here?
Hi, what's up?
We got Chitlin Central here, huh? We got Shan Shan.
What's up?
We got January. We got Ethan. Got our silliest corner Sunday.
Hi. Hi, what's up?
The whole gang is here. Yeah, you'd think the old Democrats would occasionally learn a lesson, not to think they're smarter than Trump. What more can you say? The guy's won 3 elections by landslides. He vanquished 17 Republican professionals, Hillary and the Clinton machine, and Sleepy Joe, and of course, Kamala. I've been coming on a little more than I used to because it seems like no one's live streaming anymore. Kevin's been doing a few shows. I've said it before, I'd much rather people watch Kevin's show. He's a monetized channel, and he certainly appreciates the support. I appreciate people coming in too, but I'm sure Kevin could use a few bucks in super chats. I had a weird incident happen in here 2 days ago where I was out in the water and for 1 hour there was only Honeyco and April. Then I got done with the show. It showed only 2 viewers. And I wondered if I was shadow banned. I think YouTube just had an issue with notifications that day. So I figured I would walk around a little bit, show y'all the beauty of Phuket. One of the unique things with Phuket, usually in these countries, when you have massive malls, they're nowhere near the beach or not nowhere near a beach you can swim in. You know, you can live in Bangkok or Manila or somewhere and have huge malls, but there's nothing else to do there from a nature standpoint, right? What's unique about Phuket, and even in Da Nang, we have beautiful beaches and over 1.3 million people, but we don't have a big, big impressive malls there yet. They're going to build some. The uniqueness about here, though, is they have both right next to each other. Where's the remember where we stayed when we first got here? How do we get over there?
Let's go over there, cross the road. Have to cross the road first. Okay.
I thought it'd be nice now that I have my gimbal to actually show some of the streets here. This is about 5 o'clock, I think. Sun's going down, and that's the hard part. Crossing the street there, then you're pretty much home free here. I don't think there's any more crossings really. But this is right over near Walking Street. Yeah, see right there? Right there.
Shooting, brother.
Well, we definitely want to welcome you in, whomever you may be.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Lead the way, Shan Shan.
Mới chào đi. Để lên kiểm tra.
They got a ton of street food here. We just went to a Irish pub at Jungceylon. We were all quite impressed with it. It was so good. Expensive though, very expensive, but damn, it was good. We eat everything though. We'll eat the street food, the fruit, the corn, meat sticks, monkey meat on a stick. We eat everything, but every once in a while we like to go to more expensive places. Not super expensive. We're talking like Korean restaurants, Korean barbecue, Din Tai Fung, which is the dumplings, shit like that. Now, if you come back to this street at night, oh no.
Custom made soup. Give you
Give it to her.
my business.
They want you to buy a custom made suit. Now, if you just typed, or if anyone's leaving messages, I will get to them. Just give me a couple minutes because the sun is just very intense, very glare. And I got shitty eyesight. After I had all my eye surgeries, I probably have the worst eyesight in the whole genre. That's after the surgeries. But once I get around the corner here, I will take your messages and I will read them. The bar action's already going. For a lot of people, that's their whole life. They sit there and they nurse a beer. They're hoping to make an interaction with somebody. It's amazing when you stop drinking.
The best of Thai boxing.
Those places lose a lot of their appeal. Oh, there's a McDonald's, huh? Wait, Shen Shen. Shen Shen. You fix that. Granddad, how are you? And Baloo John is in the house. How you doing, Baloo John? Haven't seen you in ages. It's nice to see you. Hope all's going well. I think you gave up on Bakersfield, last I heard. Yeah, they got a lot of pot shops around here. I hope you and your son and everybody's doing fantastic. And Granddad, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Oh, more weed, huh? I've never done pot. I know it's hard to believe, but I haven't. Never done any drugs. Only did hard liquor once in my life. One day. That was enough. Hey, Shen Shen, come around on the side here for me, please. This side. We'll cross on over. Yeah. There it is, huh?
Hello มาลาเซนี่เอ๊ะขึ้นลงกี่เดือนไหมครับ
We're now at Patong Beach. We're staying down there at Kata Beach. Oh, look at that.
เห็นไหมเห็นไหมเห็นไหมครับ
It's always fun to see them taking off, isn't it?
เดี๋ยวลงไหมครับปาราชูทจะมีไหมเดี๋ยวลองไหม
Beautiful day today, man. A little bit warm, a little bit humid. But what do you expect in Thailand?
Oh, your bed is so small. Press it down, chair, please, like that.
Oh, no.
Relax, yeah. You think what you do.
The place we're at, which is down by Kata Beach, we were here at Doubletree for the first week. Now we're down by Kata, only about a 2-minute walk away from the beach itself. Kata's better for swimming. But what can you say, man? This is pretty sweet. It's killing it, as Ricky would say. Yep, there's the Fazio jet skis again.
Đó, chứ nó còn rất là thì không có lo đâu phải
R.I.P. to Fazio, who's in the big jet ski up in the sky. I'm using a gimbal, Granddad. Hopefully, it looks better than it did before. Or it was jumping all over the place. I've never really used a gimbal. I tried one years ago from Lazada, a very cheap one, and it didn't work very well. So I never used it again. Who?
Jada.
Oh, J Doll, you're there.
I'm doing fine. Enjoying the live video of a beach I haven't seen in about 40 years.
Wow, 40? I thought you were only 40 years old. Well, J Doll, we have the whole family out here today.
Hi, Jada.
The Hip Hop Honey Co., J Doll. Oh, okay. They're going to take off here. So we'll flip it around to make it safe, huh?
Video quality is great. Maybe you can figure out how to flip if the landscape mode. Landscape.
I will do that next time, Jay. Because I just have it in the portrait mode sitting here. I've thought about that. I used to always do my stuff on when I was doing my daily shows. Look at that. Wouldn't you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? So anyway, I used to always do landscape when I had my nightly show before COVID, but it seemed like everyone went mobile. And I've debated, is it better to show it in a portrait, like on their phone, or is it better to show it like on a TV where they might be using an app on TV, or like on an iPad or something, so, or a computer. I'm with you though. I personally like to see it the other way, but I hear both ways. People say they want to watch on their phone. I don't know. It's hard to pick. I definitely think it looks better when it's full screen though, personally, because you miss so much of the beauty of this place in the portrait mode. Well, no, no, thank you. No,
Hey, from?
US.
Yes, what's up, bro?
The best way to deal with the people doing that is just to smile, keep walking. Wouldn't you like to ride my beautiful balloon? So Jay, we went to a Irish pub today. You might see some uploads later. Damn, that was good. When you can find a place that has it almost down pat to back home, sometimes it helps you keep your sanity. Much as I like Thai food, I like all Asian food. You miss that Irish, British, American style food sometimes. Then we went to Dairy Queen. Big mistake. Sunday ended up getting a large. So I think everyone waddled out of that mall. And now we had to walk over here to burn off the calories. Wouldn't you like to ride? I'm almost going to stop here at Starbucks, you guys. Then I'll be able to read the comments. It's very hard to read and walk when the glare is this intense. I'm not trying to be rude, just trying to be safe. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Yeah, da, 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 Do you remember that the dating game with Jim Lang? And here they are. Bum bum ba da 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 dun. Bum ba da bum bum. Dun dun da dun da dun da dun dun dun. Okay, I'm gonna give one last look, and then I'm gonna cross the street over here to Starbucks, and then I'll be able to get on those messages. One last look. The beauties of Phuket. Hard to beat it, honestly. The package of everything Phuket has to offer makes it very tough. You almost can't think of a place that can truly match this place. To the double trees Wi-Fi. Holy moly. All right, here we are. So yeah, they got a Subway sandwiches over here, a McDonald's, the pizza joint, a little bit of everything. They got these bars out here too, right on the side of the road, which is kind of cool.
أنا ما راح أكمل معك بأي شيء خلاص.
All right, everybody. I'll take the unsweetened iced tea, please.
You did my tea. Yeah, okay. Okay, the unsweetened and then
That's it. Okay.
Anything? Oh,
Wow, finally hands off.
water. Water.
They can share water. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm back. Big Kevin is in the house. Oh, it does, dude. A little bit hotter today, but I think yesterday was like 30, and nighttime's like 26, 27. It's not bad. It's supposed to be the low season right now. So in the low season, it has monsoons and it's supposed to rain. But I think we've been in Thailand now for 3 weeks, 3 or 4, going on 4, I think. By Sunday, it'll be 4 weeks. And we only had 3 days of rain so far out of 20, 23 or 24 days. When I say 3 days of rain, I'm talking about an hour per day. So you can't be, can't complain. I actually like it when it rains a little bit. Breaks up the heat. That's one of the things I like about Da Nang so much because the heat is broken up during, the 6 months starting in maybe November. So let's go back to where we were. We have Kevin and we have Balut John in the house. We have Brandon and we have J Doll. Sometimes we also have J Mike, 2 J's. That's what we've been doing lately. Like I gave up live streaming years ago, but I figure, especially now that I have a gimbal here, rather than take videos and upload them, I just go live. We're gonna walk over here anyway. We might as well kill 2 birds with one stone. And then we've got all the footage of everything that we've seen. So what else is going on? Stock market up, gas prices down, plane tickets down, very down. Donald Trump looks like he's playing like a cat playing with a little mouse once again. Kind of be tough to argue against someone who really has put a tremendous end to a lot of wars, brought gas prices down pre-Iran war to 199 a gallon, has 4 to 5% growth, something we haven't really seen since the Reagan years, and had the highest labor participation rate in U.S. history, with 18 to 19 trillion dollars of infrastructure being built. And I know it's true because so much of that is connected to data centers, and that's one of the businesses I'm in. We can't even stock the products fast enough. Our lead times, as soon as it's made, it's out the door the second it's made. We had the biggest month in our history last month. So this is going through the month of May, we had 5 consecutive biggest months we've ever had in history. So I want to recall to everybody the fake news and how they said, even on the day of the election in 2016 and on 2024, all the way up until about 6 p.m., all those experts were saying that Kamala and Hillary were going to blow it out, that their experts were telling them this, the data, the numbers are showing. What happened though? All the experts on the Republican side, all those fucking rhinos that went against Trump in 2016, 2015 and 2016, they had all the money. They had all the data points,
No.
but they didn't have the votes. Kevin, to answer your question, it's a mixture. For one, it's way nicer here, okay? But you can find places just outside of Patong here that are, we found a few that are like $350 a month, 300, 350 a month. We found some for $250 a month. So I'd say the food and the accommodation is the same. And I'd say, an accommodation wise, probably more options here than Pattaya. I don't have any way to prove that, but that's just how it feels. On the higher end side, it's got a lot of higher end places too. They're both good though, but the problem with, I like it over there. I like Pattaya and I like Jungceylon, but the problem is you're not going to go into that water. That water is contaminated, and this is like real beaches everywhere. There's 9 or 10, distinct major beaches here in Phuket, and we've been to probably 6 of them, and they're very different from each other. And if you're a beach lover, this is a better place to be by far. Mall wise, Pattaya has 2 big malls. They have 2 big malls here too, 2 very big malls, and the rest of it's the same. The weather, the nightlife's about the same. I can't imagine any place having more nightlife than um Pattaya, but this place is very close to that. Very close. If you took a vote, all 7 of us, Pattaya versus Phuket, you're going to get a 7-0 vote in favor of Phuket. I saw Kevin's little teaser last night. I said hi. I don't think he must be doing that in some kind of delay system, 'cause he doesn't read those comments. He's sitting out there on the porch out there by the lake, in his basement, his $6.1 million basement. Usually when Kevin does that, he has a show coming up. So I woke up this morning anticipating the show, but I didn't see one.
It's slimy.
I'll ask you, Honey Cook, because you're a big Pattaya fan. Pattaya versus Phuket. If you had to pick one, where would you want to be?
Phuket.
What do you like better about Phuket than Pattaya?
Here is a lot of choices. They have Patong Beach, Coron, and other stuff. So no one can fit in here.
Rahway Beach, Freedom Beach.
Yeah.
They have all the big gyms here. They got the big malls. I would say the 2 malls here, like Central Phuket and Jungceylon,
Yeah, it's
are
totally
bigger
big.
than Terminal 21 and Central Pattaya, but
Yeah, it's
I
big
can't
like
tell for sure. But So your vote is yeah, but you like Phuket, right? You like Phuket also.
Pattaya. I like, yeah, Pattaya.
I'm sorry, you like Pattaya also, right?
I like, but if
And you
you,
like Jungceylon.
yeah, but if I have to choose one here, Phuket.
I'll ask Sanchan that same question.
Dad. Hi.
So you guys spent a lot of time in Phuket, right? You like Phuket too, right? Like the dinosaur place and everything. So if you had to pick Phuket or Pattaya, which one?
Phuket. I enjoy Phuket.
Phuket. Uh, How about you, White?
Phuket.
She's gonna go along with the other.
As lovely as Pattaya, Phuket is in a league of its own.
Yeah, that's the sentiment, you know. We do. I like Pattaya too. I like Jomtien. I don't like Pattaya Central. It's pretty intense. A little too intense.
It's like this.
But I definitely um I like the whole Pattaya experience, just like I like Bangkok, but this is a real paradise here though. I mean, you're talking about pristine beauty, natural beauty and hills, mountains, and beaches all around, giant islands. You know, Phuket, I think, is over 100 times the size of Boracay, so it's very large, and there's a lot to do here, from elephants to tigers, go-kart racing. I mean, they have a little bit of everything here. We were actually looking at that earlier today, go-kart racing. We were they were looking at it. We're trying to figure out things for them to do. There's also a ice skating rink over by Central Phuket, and there's like a thing where you ride on inner tubes and you slide down on in man-made snow. It's kind of interesting. We'll probably do that. So that's sort of the report from us today. From the fam, we consider our family to be your family. When we meet people, like Kevin can attest to this, uh, they get along so well. I mean, my kids, whether it was Kevin or Mick Fisher or Nico or anybody, Doug Williams, my kids just got along with everybody. And pretty soon they were acting like they were in their family. They were all one big family, especially with Doug Williams. Doug Williams' wife, Noon, and his daughter bonded so well with our kids. And of course, they love Doug too. Doug's such a funny guy. So we've gone out of our way to make trips to see Doug Williams and Randy. I hope Randy's doing better. Randy had a car or motorcycle accident over there near Chiang Mai. He's a great guy too. He's not a YouTuber, so you might not be familiar with him. So that's about it from the Peanut Gallery. Trying to show you the real Phuket, not the dumbass that's holding a Jollibee hamburger up and saying, "My first Jollibee."
Because they want views. That's why they're doing that.
You can start off making your life a lot better by discounting 99% of what vloggers say. If you're smart, because almost everything they say is a lie. So you just have to start off with that. You're much better off Googling something than listening to a vlog. All right. Well, for us, I'll just end it by saying this. We're not trying to get money out of people. We're not trying to even get people to follow what we say. just trying to encourage people to use their common sense, use the search tools that they have out there, deal with people they trust instead of people that have an angle or an hidden motivation of why they're giving them the advice that they're giving them. Most vloggers that I've met, not all of them, a lot of the big name ones I've met are the biggest losers I've ever met in my life. And I hate to think of people selling everything they have and relocating on the advice of a vlogger who's lying to you just to get views. I used to live in a condo right near Ayala Mall in Cebu City. That condo was 100% non-Filipino residents. Not a single Filipino in that condo. And I saw it again and again and again. Like, I can't tell you how many times where the guy walks in, he's chipper, he's happy, everything's rosy. And 6 months later, he's limping back to the USA with his tail between his legs. Don't let it happen to you. All right, we got no one's commenting, so I'm going to say, I can't say goodbye to you. No matter how I try, you're just a part of me.
Saying Steve says, common sense, how can I get some?
No matter how I cry.
Balot sa, balot siya.
I think you're
Oh, balot sa, balot sunset. My son married a Filipina nurse in New York City.
I'm not getting any comments.
how about you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
but
but
I see
I know why.
What?
Because you're attached to the attached to the there pa, double tree. Because of the Wi-Fi that you have, double tree, and then the reason why.
Okay, let me. I'm sitting here blabbing my head off, and I'm starting to
balot.
feel sorry for myself. I still don't see comments.
I commented also.
But why don't you guys read them out to me a little bit?
Which one now? And it says here, are
Kevin's gonna do a show. Okay, we'll make sure everybody
Minutes.
people there?
overwhelmed. No,
People in
no, it's way calmer. It's much more laid back than Pattaya, dude. I like it there too. I like Pattaya. I like Bangkok for the fact that it's intense like that. But I like that if I'm a solo traveler, not a family traveler. Once you get into the family traveling, we'd like to ratchet it back a little bit to a little bit calmer and more serene. This is Ground Central right here. When I walked, if you look, when I came from the mall walking over here, that's the night street, the walking street. And that's, of course, I showed it. If you go flipping back some of my uploads, I showed walking street last week. I think it's either in a short or just a straight upload, or I gave no commentary. You can sort of see what it's like here. But I've tried to show all these different angles, like today, coming from the mall down here to the beach. This is Patong. This is Ground Central for the party scene. Not where we're at right now, but where I just showed you before. 5-minute walk from here. And on that one, it's a lot like being in Central Pattaya. But if you come over here, it's way more laid back and way more laid back, and it's much nicer actually. Yeah, I feel bad because I still don't.
big. How like Steve said,
Steve is
That's Steve.
lang Sinatra singing.
901.
Ay,
as I said, common sense. You mentioned about earlier about common sense. It's
Yeah.
common sense. How can I get some?
You're not getting, who said that? Steve?
Steve,
Steve.
Well, Steve, and welcome, Steve. I don't see your comments. I feel bad. Sorry to everyone. I've not seen the comments. You're not going to get any on YouTube. YouTube is the world's largest mental hospital. Just remember that. Almost everybody in YouTube is crazy, and not the listeners, the hosts. So when you're listening to this stuff, like we have a good friend, I'm not going to name his name. Everything's about budgeting, and everything is, if I have a Bami sandwich. This one costs 25,000 dong, which is a dollar. But if I walk 10 blocks away, it's 23,000, which is 97 cents. Now, common sense would tell you that 2 cents more is not worth a 10-block walk, but not to vlog. No, they're gonna even get a taxi, maybe. That's
Look, John said, fruitcakes
how
and
fucking stupid these people are. These people, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be mean either, but I've met all of them, and these people are the dumbest people in the world. Like they look at Frank, Steve. I mean, Frank's got to be. I mean, how do you have 4 bankruptcies, and how do you end up living with a woman for 2 years before you knew she had 8 kids? I mean, how dumb do you got to be for that? Seriously, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to the old codger, but how out of touch do you have to be to not figure that out? Beyond the common sense angle, how about just the fact that those type of people think that the rest of us need to pay taxes to let them sit on their stupid little ass doing YouTube all day?
Busy.
What oh,
He's busy.
why should we pay for these people? They have a stubbed toe and they go get permanent disability? What the fuck?
Kevin said, yes, myself and I we are all little bit crazy.
You're actually smarter than Kevin. You have a lot of life experiences from crabbing to bouncing to working in a mine. You have a lot of life experiences. A lot of these dudes we talk to, I mean, I'm not gonna name names, okay? I could name names. I told you I know 2 prominent ones that are gay that had confessed it to me and asked if they could suck my dick. They knew I had a 9-inch one, and they were curious about it, and I said, "Absolutely not." But a lot of them not only are gay, but a lot of them there's one that was like, everyone would know this name. I'm not everyone would know it if I said it, where he confessed that he was only had 4 encounters in his entire lifetime. 4. I used to average 4 different people per day, and this guy had 4 in a 60-year span, and he's giving romance advice, love advice.
Oh,
Good. What the hell?
and that and says, yeah, social money and traveling around is
Well, Granddad, I think I don't want to be critical of people because I can look at 2 different groups. One group is a brokey, he's living in a fan room, but he's traveling around the world, meeting people, and he's experiencing things. And then the other type, which is the basement boy, and we all know who these people are. I wrote a book called Basement Boys. You can check it out on Amazon, and you open the inside cover and see who it's dedicated to. It's called Basement Boys and the dreaded 99-cent super chat. That's the subtitle. Those people never leave their basement or their attic, and their love moments are with their 5 fingers. But the same type of person is doling out romance advice. And look, I would rather be the guy that's traveling brokey than sitting in a hole in the US doing nothing. But I don't think either have to be the only alternative. It's common sense though, right? Like, look, I got started in the stock market back in the 1990s. I have 6 stocks. I've never taken out of those stocks, and I've never not paid into them every month. Why did I do that? Because my grandfather was a big fan of Warren Buffett, and that was the Buffett model. Buffett became the richest man in the world. We followed his advice. Don't take my advice. I got a lot of I mean, unbelievable windfall out of these things. But that's the guy that made thousands of millionaires and billionaires. So you go to somebody who knows what they're talking about and you follow their advice if you want to follow anybody's advice. Don't go to the jack off who got 4 bankruptcies and is on the government dole and how to invest money in the Philippines. I mean,
Steve said, 5 fingers in the attic, now in the paper box.
It says here, oh, and when they met you, when they meet you, they were last for help with something.
when they met me, I mean, almost all of them are asking for money, or their life is in shambles, or they're, it's just a sad thing.
You guys were
And that's not to say everyone. Like I've said this before, Kevin, surprisingly, who I thought was going to be a complete disaster, Kevin, because of his life experiences, was a super sociable guy, very sociable. He could sit and chat with people. He could sit and flirt with waitresses. It was unbelievable to watch him go. But that's not what we normally see. We normally see someone come to a place like this and stare off into space with their beer from dawn to dusk. So that's my mission of my show. I've seen so many people get hurt following advice of vloggers. Even the big ones like Tim K. I mean, the guy was a complete buffoon. Of course, he had to leave YouTube, go back and get a real job like he should have done years before. Suddenly, because Tim K had 150,000 subs, he has 150,000 subs and he's buying views. Everyone thinks he knows a lot about life or a lot about, how to do everything. Well, he got 90% of it because of his connection to Bald and Balder. He wasn't a good vlogger himself at all. And he had to go back and get a real job and he sold his channel. Now, people would ask me, I ran the numbers. Before, when I was doing a show every day, if I would have continued growing at the rate I was growing, if I would have monetized, by now I'd be making, $500 a month if it would have continued growing. Maybe 1,000, but that's devoting 70 hours a week to it. Why wouldn't I just go work? I make more than $1,000 a day. Why wouldn't I just go work an extra day? You know what I mean? And that's if I had the biggest channel in the genre. Some of the other ones, the guys have shown it, they're making $200-300 a month if they're lucky, but then they're turning around and buying subs and buying views. They end up not making anything. You have to have a breakout hit to make money on YouTube. I guess anybody else's comments?
Leo.
Leo
Good day,
from
Biggie.
Frio. Good
Leo
day,
the Leo.
Leo from Frio. Hello,
Huh?
Leo. There's hi from the Hip Hop Honey Co. and Ethan and January. Somewhere down there is April. Oh, there she is. We're here at Patong Beach at Starbucks. Earlier in the show, we were on the beach there, and earlier than that, we were over by Walking Street and Jungceylon
Chris.
Mall.
Oh, Chris Travel also. Commentate. Chris Travel.
Chris Travel.
Chris, no.
Welcome, Chris Travels.
There's another one. Yung dadon says, I heard it was because he was having a pension or something like that. So the US was checking on his income.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's talk about that one, Granddad. I have nothing personal against this guy. I don't have any personal against any of them, except for the freak that lives on the Ant Hill Island. Um, the guy is trying to claim 100% disability, VA benefits, and nobody wants to see veterans taken care of more than me. I'm donating 100% of the money we make on these military books to the Wounded Warrior Foundation. 100%, not 1%. 100%. I love dealing with these people like Nico and all the other ones. But when you claiming that you have 100% disability and your back is so fucked up that you can't even walk, and then we see you on motorcycles, we see you surfing in Surigao, you're not disabled, man. My gosh, I went to school and I worked in the business world with truly disabled people, even some quadriplegics that were able to go and work. They had so much pride that they wanted to work, especially paraplegic. Quadriplegic is a little bit harder. Some of them have a little bit of use of their hand or their finger, a little bit. But we've tried to give opportunities to handicapped people all of my life. I believe in it wholeheartedly. But Tim K wasn't sick. He wasn't hurt. Okay. A hangnail or cut himself shaving during a war is not being disabled. So they somebody turned it in. They probably cut that. And now he was only living on the YouTube amount, which by the time, again, you deduct all the people you have to pay off, 30% taken from YouTube, whatever you're doing to buy views and all the rest of it, you're not making any money. I respect that he went home, went back to work. The wife went, became a nurse. I do. I actually respect those people. I'm not trying to bash them.
Chris Travel said, "Thank you, Big E. Thank you for holding the genre together."
Well, I'm the smallest fish in the smallest pond in this genre. The big fish like Ricky and the other new one that's come up, Mad Matt. I like Mad Matt, but I think Mad Matt is going to burn himself out at the rate that he's going because there's only so much rage you can have. You know, I my advice to people on this note, and I like the guy. I've given him some super chats even. But if you're so disgusted with the Philippines, you should just go somewhere else. I got burned out with the Philippines after many, many years, 8 to 10 years or whatever it was. I finally said I want to go somewhere else. So we been all over the world. I'd lived in Japan prior to that, and I basically now lived in 8 different countries. And I could go back to the Philippines, but you got to go back when your head is right, and if you're angry and pissed off at the world, and it's not a good place to be because it's just going to get worse. The Philippines would aggravate anybody. It's by far the most irritating country that you'll ever go to because of the incompetence, the gross incompetence in the Philippines. And it's not a knock on the people. I love, obviously everybody here is a Filipino except for me. But like to compare it here to Phuket, it's not even close. It's like a million miles apart. Gross incompetence will drive anybody insane. The girls that are always playing games, try to think. You're not going to be with girls 30 to 40 years younger than you in real life. This is just an art and a fantasy. Anything else?
Yeah, granted than Leo the Prayer said, "Yeah, that's a giveaway." He said.
Yeah, Tim K was a big fraud, but like I said, I don't have anything against the guy at all. I respect that he married Chrissy, they had a child, they moved, he brought her to the nursing school. Some people will say he did the nursing school so she can go work and he can stay on his lazy fat ass. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. But I know that what they're presenting to people, or like saying, don't give money to the Red Cross, give it to us and we'll distribute it. That's being distributed to his car payment. Is that?
How about the sidewalk vendors? Thank you so much.
Sidewalk vendors in Phuket are very, um, it's not as bad as Pattaya or Bangkok on that note. But if you go around the corner and you go to the walking street area, people are walking up to you asking you, "Sir, sir, sir, do you wanna eat? Sir, do you wanna drink? Sir, do you wanna fuck? I mean, how many girls do you want?" And that gets tiring. One of the things that's so nice about Vietnam is they don't have that. Nobody does that. In 1.5 years, yeah, 1.5 years in Vietnam, I have not been begged once, not even once.
Chris Travel says, in case drama was really real, he was very emotional. Granddad, the only thing I didn't like was he finishing the channel without saying anything. Kaya toilet gas out was a big thing.
Well, the thing is, Granddad and Chris, I mean, if anyone who met him and anyone who knows him, they said he was a total dick. I mean, I don't get people treating me that way. I'm 6'7", 320 pounds and in the gym every damn day. And the Tim Ks of the world don't come up to me mouthing off. And if he did, I would punch him in the face, if he did. There's 2 or 3 people that I would punch if I saw him. I'm not a violent person, but there are a few people that deserve to get smacked. And maybe he was one of them in his heyday. But I heard he was a total dick from people who met him. I talked to a couple people that met him at immigration, even said he was just an arrogant, stuck up, thought he was better than everybody. But maybe they're jealous of him. I don't know. I mean, I've heard people say things about me all the time that 99% of the time it's not true. It's totally made up. The trolls on Frank's show said, "Did you hear that Big E did that? Did you hear? His wife did this, and they have a case, and immigration's going to do this." Blah 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 blah. 99% of it is fake. There's 0.01% of it that's true. Every now and then, the broken clock is right twice a day, right? And in our genre, they'll get it right every once in a while, just by pure statistical chance.
Uh, Granddad said, I mean the sidewalk in the Philippines.
Oh, sidewalk in the Philippines is a total disaster. Total disaster. Now, if you go to Makati, I lived in Makati first. They had gotten rid of all the vendors and stuff. It was actually quite pleasant. But in Manila, Quezon City, all those places, it's a horror show. Now, when Ipso Moreno was running for president, he was the mayor of Manila. He got rid of all the street vendors temporarily. They moved them off the street. I was at Rizal Park once before, outside of Rizal Park, on the other side of the street where they do the inauguration of the president every 6 years, right by the Manila Hotel, if you guys know the area. And all of a sudden, every street, every side street, everything's being blocked off, barricaded. And next thing you know, there's a caravan of people coming. It's the Japanese president. So they put him through this little rat hole, this little rabbit trail. And he goes, "My gosh, Manila's so nice. There's no traffic here." They get off on the side of the curb there. There's one of the largest flagpoles I've ever seen. They go and they raise the flag. Everybody salutes. He gets back in the limo, heads back to the airport. Oh, the photo op is amazing. And then as soon as he's far down the road on Rojas, they're heading back to the airport. They start removing the barricades, and all of the shit comes back, including literal shit, where people are taking a shit in the sidewalk and pissing all over the place. Absolutely disgusting. A lot of it depends on where you live. I mean, we lived in Cebu Business Park. That's actually quite nice. Right by Ala Mall. That's where we live most of the time. And then we lived in Boracay, and then Iloilo right there by K-Town. That's all the new area, all Korean, and very nice, very nice. The street vendor issue, very nice. But when you get into the heart of the places like Manila and Quezon City, and you know, past Sieg, past I, Parañaque, San Juan, Valenzuela, and the worst of the worst of the worst, Calahocan, you're gonna see things that would curl your hair.
Jada is saying someday you have to tell us the stories about how you met April and
I will do that. I've known them both many, many years, more than 10. And April was a mere college student. When I came in, she was in San Carlos grad. San Carlos is the top school in Cebu. It's a private college.
over here.
And I was doing presentations. She came up to me after, and I can just give you one word. This is a preview of things to come. Are you ready for the word, J Doll? Here it is. Dun 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 dun. Shazam! And I also met Honeyco about that time. And we were actually dating at one time. See, but then we got a little bit, I don't know what happened, but she ended up going to Saudi Arabia. And then I would meet her in Saudi Arabia. But back in that time, before COVID, you couldn't just go and meet and
Stop.
hang out, stuff. It was against the law. So once they changed that law, then we met up again in Riyadh, and then we met in Jeddah, and then we stayed for a week in Abha, which is up 8,000-foot elevation. So I will give you that as a preview. I'll be happy to go into the nitty-gritty details. But see, what people don't understand, like, all the gossip types, we weren't always together as boyfriend and girlfriend, like April and I, or her and I. We were friends for a lot of that time. They had jobs. April worked for an American insurance company. I was in and out of the Philippines. And so we stayed together when I was around, and then we didn't. It was on and off, but we were always very consistent with communication and friendship and everything. So then you meet the other one, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, so it's a little more complicated. People think it's not what people think too, where there was an affair. You're with one and you decide to go and cheat on that is completely false. It's not how anything happened. Complete garbage. The two of them are like best friends. They have been for years. And don't believe everything because little Frankie B says it on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna wind it up here, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We'll go into that more. I think Kevin's starting to show here any second. So head on over to Big Kevin No Bull, Big Kevin Big Media, and show him some love. And we want to show you guys some love. Chris Travels, Leo from Frio, J Doll, Grand Dan, Kevin, John, everyone else that I might have missed. We love you.